Hello, this is Godel. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions. It's been a couple of days since I recorded a session here, and between the sessions, I was just doing some prep for future sessions and such. And I have left stuff in my inventory that I do not want up here. Cool. Anyways, since last time, I did a lot of stuff just kind of preparing for this episode. So I did finally end up making mana glass, which ended up being a pretty simple process since we made unstable mana last episode or an episode or two ago. It was just structural glass and an assembler. No biggie there. I started prepping for cybernetic, which that's just more material prep. We'll go over that when I get there. Same for space prep. That's just material prep. I will talk about what I did. I did a fluorine and rubber and ink chicken. So to get the ink chicken, you actually have to dye a chicken egg black, and then you throw the chicken, and then with the chicken wand, you can turn it back into a ink black chicken, and then now we have infinite ink sacs. Yay, right? And then fluorine, that was the one we were preparing over here that I kind of started doing and then forgot to do. I just went ahead and finished that up. So now we have our fluorine eggs being processed in here. Our fluorine chicken is up here somewhere. There it is. It's that one. And then the fluorine process also makes tiny calcium. So you can see here we have 20,000 tiny calcium. Pretty nice. Except we don't really need calcium for much yet. And then I also made the rubber chicken, which we saw up there. And the rubber chemical plant is over here. So we're using the rubber enriched eggs instead of the rubber pulp. So that replaces our need to really replaces the need to do anything with the rubber resin from the rubber trees unless we need glue for anything. And if we do need glue for anything, we can also get glue from the centrifuging sap, which we can get for an arboreal extractor, or we can continue centrifuging sticky resin, of course. But the raw rubber pulp is kind of like a trash item at this point. Is there anything we'd really need glue for at this point? Most of the stuff that needs glue is also craftable using polyethylene. So I imagine no, not really. Like books maybe is the only thing that needs glue in here, yeah. Just books. And it's a very small amount of glue, so it's not really anything I'm concerned about. Oh, and then these wooden pipes, but I imagine we have no purpose to be making those block can unless a block specifically calls for it, but then this block is like, okay, we're not going to be using this, right? Not in this mod pack anyways. So let's see, we talked about the chickens. So storage. I was actually getting pretty full up here just on account of processing so much ore. So I ended up putting some of our materials, like I went in here and I sorted it by size, which tells you how many items are in here. And these things up here are in barrels. Carbon's in a barrel, aluminum. Well, aluminum is now in a barrel. It wasn't before. But all of these items here, we have gallium, just a ridiculous amount of gallium from processing all the bauxite. We have a lot of aluminum. There's our sodium and silicon before with the electrolyzer we had set up. And the lithium as well. A lot of redstone too. And I just hooked these up on a item sig module and provider module chassis pipe there. Ooh, excuse me. Kind of late here while I'm recording this. So that's the kind of storage. When my storage gets full, I'm probably just going to look at the next item down the list here that is not already in a barrel. So gold is down there. Flint? When did I get so much flint? Okay, I think... Okay, I remember why I have the flint at least. I don't remember doing so much flint. So what I was going to do with the flint is... And I can go ahead and do it while I'm talking about it. I needed more infinity shards. Yeah, we're out of the infinity sand because we're using that stuff to make our diesel fuel. And I don't have a better way to make it currently set up, so I've just been using this method to get it, basically converting flint and EXP into the grains of infinity sand. Infinity dust is what it's called, my bad. So, yep, this is what I was doing for that, and I only did it once because one of these lasts a very long time for our fuel production. One of them turns into, where's the recipe? Is it in the chemical reactor? Here it is. One of them turns 32 crystallized seeds into 32 empowered seeds, and then each one of those makes 2 buckets of empowered oil, and each liter of that makes, or each 25 liter makes 45 diesel. And yeah, this lasts quite a long time. If you do the math, it's like I don't remember what the ratio is. It's a lot. I think that might be like a 7 times ratio or something. Just pull that number out of thin air. I don't actually know. Don't at me. Okay, so this amount of infinity dust is going to last us for eons, more or less. Um, it's going to last us until we have it automated. Why we have so much more flint in here still? I just put too much gravel to sift is the honest answer. So rutile is our next biggest thing that we don't currently have in a barrel, and then I guess sulfur dust and rotten flesh. So if we start to get tight on storage space, we can move our rutile. So there's some in here, a lot in there. There's a bunch of rotten flesh that we saw. But yeah, we definitely have options for storage. So talked about that. Bag upgrades. I upgraded my bag, my satchel to the. I made some Enderium. Enderium is just a good old electric blast furnace recipe. I did not end up. I did not use helium because we don't have helium processing yet. I just ended up using this recipe here for the gasless recipe, and it was a lot slower, yeah, but I like kind of just set it overnight, so wasn't really a big deal. So anyways, this is our bag now. It's pretty massive. And while I was doing that, I also saw the handy bag upgrade from Ender Utilities. It's a quest over in the um what's it called? In the tools chapter. And I was looking at it, I'm like, hey, the handy bag is actually pretty good. It has a lot of things here that you can pause and read if you want. But I was looking at it, and MV field generators are actually still kind of a hard thing to make. Field generators are always notoriously difficult to make in GregTech packs. But the difficult part of this is that it needs magnesium diboride. Diboride? Anyways, if we track this all the way back to how to make this dang thing, we have to put magnesium and boron in a mixer, and we have no way to get boron currently. To get boron, we would need to electrolyze magnesium diboride. Okay, yeah, definitely get the thing we need. We would need to get borax, which we can only get from processing rock salt or salt ore, which we do not currently have. And the only way to get that is from, I don't even know what this thing is, or from the Mineralis ritual, and we cannot get the Mineralis ritual because the Mineralis ritual is locked behind Skystone. And then the other way to get boron is don't be a moron. Ha ha. Sorry. Borosilicate glass, which is not something you can naturally find. That's something you make yourself, so that's not an option. And then we can also get it from lepidolite, which is another type of salt ore. This is like a lithium salt, but that's again only available on the moon or in a Mineralis ritual. So we have no way to get boron at the moment, so this is going to be off the table for a bit, but it is a future upgrade we can consider once we're in the future. Once we're in the future, go out, good one, me. And then constellations, I just went and did. I crafted a few of the constellation papers, specifically octans, Buotis, and Fornax, and I found those. Well, I found octans and Bootis in the sky, but Fornax is... I'm still waiting for that one to pop up, so we'll see if we see that in the following evening. Right now it is high noon, so we can't see any stars. Um, but yeah, today what we are going to be doing is oil relocation. Oh, right. I was like, that was not the first thing I expected on my list. So yeah, our oil tank is actually here running on... It's starting to run low. I mean, not low. It still has 2,000 buckets, which is an obscene amount. And we have 37,000 buckets of nitro diesel. But, yeah, oil is starting to run low here, or it's starting to run out. We're now using it more than we're producing it, because we're not producing it. Hey, spoiler. So I was thinking to go and move our oil thing. It's been a while since we did that. And believe it or not, we are still in the first oil well that we did. So that first oil well we did however many dozen episodes ago, that lasted us until now. So it kind of goes to show how crazy oil goes. Even if you're like making a ton of nitro fuel and using combustion everywhere, like you can just stretch your diesel to go very, very far in this pack just due to the efficiency upgrade this pack has to offer. So it kind of makes like power be a much lower concern than it would be in typical packs. Ooh, excuse me. And I just I went down here and took a peek earlier. We can go actually take a peek. I'll just go in spectator mode. Mode 3. And we can see like the damage we did to this oil vein down here. Yeah, well it's dark, but yeah, this whole sphere of underground space here was full of oil before, and that's how much we pumped out. There was over 4,000 buckets of oil in there. Anyways, let's get back up to the surface. And let's grab our stuff up here. I don't remember why there's a redstone torch here. Anyways, we're going to keep just using the same setup. It worked well for us. So let's just go to the next oil well over. Oh yeah, and let's remember to go in our claim chunk so we can unload this area. I'm going to just pick those up. And just going to swim over to the new oil well really quick. Maybe I'll not swim on camera. Be back in a second. Okay. Got out of the water. At least that was taking forever to get through the water. I don't know how big this oil well is going to be in comparison. I guess we could, like... I don't mind taking a peek for, like, on-camera purposes, so let's take a quick peek. Just to see how big... Yeah, this looks like a smaller one, but that's fine. We're still going to take it. I'm going to assume that I had not peeked at it, and I did not know it was a smaller one. So let me see how to do this without this being horrible. Let's see. Okay, that's not exactly what I want to do, but I think we can climb this like a ladder, right? Nice, okay. And then place some blocks up here. Want to basically make a ring around the top. There's no oil in these blocks up here, so we are fine to surround the top of the well. Okay. Place a block. Actually, we don't need to place a block because we have our converter there. Guardian, please stay away. Let's go to our claim chunks really quick. Let's claim the 3 chunks around and chunk load them. Use our Spectre coil here, which delivers low power, but it's more than enough to pump oil. And then we're going to put our oil transfer node here, and then put our GPS back in there. And ta-da! We are done with set moving oil, and this will last us who knows how many more hours. A lot, though. Like, if we wanted to go crazy, we could really accelerate this thing, and... I mean, yeah, we already filled our... our transfer node as well? That can't be right. We could not have already filled that, that super tank here, right? Nah, we have not filled that super tank. Why is it not going up then? Hold up, I'm gonna go back and just take a look at it one more time to troubleshoot it. I won't bore you for the trip, though. Be right back. Except I hid my UI on accident, and then I couldn't see what I was doing. Alright, be right back. Okay, just getting back to our well here. Ouch. So this is full of oil. This is set to always transfer. Did I, like, break something here on accident? Can I get a little bit of light? Thank you. Let me also lock that to oil. So why is this not transferring? This is set to always on. I wonder if the fluid transfer node broke for some reason. Let me just try placing it and... Oh, it got water in it. Okay. Uh-oh. That means our pump here might have gotten messed up. Let's see here. Put the GPS in here because I didn't lock it to oil. And that was the problem. Yeah, uh-oh. Our pump here might be messed up. I'm gonna go grab a drop of daylight just to make it day, and then I'll be back to sort this out, I guess. Basically, I'm gonna need to take all of the water that is between here and the oil out to fix this pump. So, be back shortly. Back to home. Be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back here, and we can see something a little weird happened with the water here. So I forget how the pump works. I think if we just block the fluids between here and the fluid we want to pump, it's going to start working properly again. So let's see if that's the case here. So we are currently empty on oil. Let's see if we can't fix this. Might be a little hard, though. I don't have night vision either. Okay, so we can see our oil here. Let me just try to block this block here. And it does not seem like I can actually place blocks down here. This is so weird. What is this weird little void pocket of air here, right? Alright, let's... Whoops, I broke the scaffold. That's fine. So let us fill this into the oil. And then, does that work now? So there is no longer any water between the oil that we want. Let's see if that's working again. And I guess I'm just going to... Where did that scaffold go? Oh, what the... How did it get over there? I don't even know. Alright, are we getting oil? Let me take the GPS marker out here really quick so I can see. Nope, no oil still. Maybe let me just break this pump and place it again. I'm going to not connect it to the pump there. I might need to go down and grab a bucket of oil as well, so I can stick it in the filter in here. But yeah, this does not seem to be working. I think I have made it very sad. Let me go down here and grab one of these buckets that's like on the side-ish. So you can see I grabbed like this top right bucket on the side. Oh, do I hear... Oh, I thought I heard a guardian. No, it's just the rain. That's fine. Alright, so if I stick this under here... Do you now know your purpose? No, not water. No, 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 no. Okay, let me pick you back up. Break you. Place you again. We're going to lock you to oil. There you go. It's locked to oil. And it currently doesn't work, right? No. Okay, not currently working. If we put an oil bucket under, I expect it to pick up that bucket that's directly under it. There we go. Okay, it's locked back into the oil, I think. Yeah, so don't forget to set your fluid locks when you set up these pumps, I guess. All right, let's turn it back to the transfer node, put the GPS back in there, and away it goes. Nice. Okay, so that is all set up again. And now we can go down here and take a peek and probably see the work it's doing. Oh yeah, see, it's already gone down from our cobblestone there. Though I do not know why the oil that's directly under the pump is still here. I'm not going to complain though. If it's working, I'm not going to mess with it. I would really like to get out of the oil though, so I can do slash home. Or maybe I can just sit still in the oil because it's so viscous. There we go. I did manage to get home. Alright, cool. And I also killed the guardian that was harassing me, so I got some prismarine there. Alright, oil relocated. Check. Okay, cybernetics. Let's do the next part. So, cybernetics, if you've not seen this mod, basically it's a mod that lets you take take out your body parts and replace them with cybernetic body parts, which sounds kind of creepy, but it's actually kind of cool, but also kind of weird. Let's see, where are we going to have it? How about over here? So I already went ahead and made... I think this robosurgeon needs to be on top of our duder there. I already made a robosurgeon and a surgery chamber. This is, by the way, in the top, or not the top, kind of the right side of the tools chapter. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to basically go in here. We close the door. And we get her because I forgot to actually tell the robosurgeon what we're doing. So you go in here, and then you can go and replace body parts. Yay, very fun, right? So we can go and replace our bones with not bones, and we can replace our eyes with not eyes. Very cool, right? And what we are going to be doing is, if I do @cyber in NEI, you can actually see a bunch of the various modifications that are available. I am going to be making very few of these, because we've actually been fighting cyber zombies throughout our journey, and they drop salvaged parts. So you can see in here all of these salvage parts that they've dropped. So we can go through and see, hey, which of these do we actually want to install? Each thing we install has some kind of basically tolerance to our body. Like the more we install, the less our body tolerates it. So we have a limited allowance of stuff we can install, but up into we reach that, we can just kind of install whatever. So Cyber Eyes, I feel like, are a good installation because they allow us to install eye modules, which includes a light vision, not a light vision, a night vision, and a refraction chamber that lets us see underwater. And then also we can do a HUD jack and a targeting overlay that lets us get some information and see where targets are. And then the distance enhancer is also a nice upgrade. So let me see. Let me make a list of things I actually want to do. So we have salvage cyber eyes from a cyber zombie. I would like the night vision, but the night vision we cannot currently make because it needs a biothomic mind, which we need to do Thumbcraft Infusion for, and I haven't quite set up Thumbcraft Infusion. So this will be a down the road, or if I happen to get one as a monster drop. I don't know if they can drop all of them. Don't really need Ender Jammer. Solar Skin is going to be a power generator, but I'm not sure if we need a power generator. So we're gonna have to tally up all of the things we need. So Cyber Eyes is gonna take 1 power. Also, the salvage things take more tolerance, but I'm not installing that many things to begin with, so... let's see. The salvage internal defibrillator is basically a one-time emergency resurrection. I'm gonna not worry about that right now. Salvage internal battery. And then there's also... Oh, I made an internal battery, that's right. I'm gonna actually use the salvaged ones because they have more power, even though they cost more tolerance. Just going to use one of those. So we have a eye and an internal battery salvaged. We have a salvaged mana link, which is something that works with Botania. I think it's the same as the monocle from Botania. Whoops. Okay. So do we want a salvaged? There's a Mana Seer lens, and then a mana link. One basically you can put on your eyeball, and one you can use with the cyber eyes. Uh, we have both. So I guess we'll just use the Mana Seer lens. HUD lens shows internal power info, upgrades to overlay a HUD, and usable with organic eyes. So I think we do want one of those. Cortical stack lets us save EXP when we die after death. I don't think we need that. Cardio mechanical pump is immune to weakness. Not too worried about that. Although we can get weak when we get certain debuffs. Maybe I will take that. I don't need a ultra dense capacitor. It's a big tolerance cost, and even though it has a lot of energy storage, it does not. We cannot charge it out in the world, and I kind of want to have our stuff being charged out in the world, so let's keep going here. We can't make the creative capacitor yet, but we can get infinite power at some point. Liver filter makes no negative food from drinks and food, which I'm not worried about. Let's see what else here. Cardiovascular coupler. Okay, this is the one I want because it harnesses the body's electrical impulses. And we can currently make it, so... Oh, except we need mana infused fine wires for that. Let's just go throw those in our wire mill 3 really quick. Where is that? It's over there. Can we get it through here? Heck yeah. Alright. So summon that up really quick. Alright, there's a cardiovascular coupler. That's going to be our main power source. That's going to make 6 power. And so far our only power cost is 3. So we can get 3 more power costs without having to do anything else. Okay, compressed oxygen is for breathing underwater. Hyperoxygenation boost is for sprinting power faster, which I'm not worried about right now. Metabolic generator uses food to make power. I don't want to use our food because food is annoying. Solar skin lets us get power from the sun, which is maybe if we need that. I'll see what we need. Synthetic skin is just synthetic skin is what's it called? A cosmetic. Immunosuppressant makes us more vulnerable to poison and disease, but gives us more tolerance. Also, it costs power. Citrate enhancement gives us fall damage resistant, which is pretty good. We don't need more batteries. Draw bows faster, we don't need. Personal crafting table, don't need. Unarmed attacks, no. Hand bind stone, no. Jump higher? Maybe, but then we need legs as well. I think I'm good with everything else here. So let's go back to salvage and double check what we had in here. We do have a hyper-oxygenated booster. I might take one of them just because we already have it. Wired reflexes. This is something that only comes with from salvaged items. So some of these are only available via drops. Like subdermal spikes, I think, are only available via drops. We do have a solar skin. I think I'll go ahead and install it because, partially, why not? We have 5 bone lacing from a quest reward. Okay, I think this is all that we want to do. Let's do a quick tally up of our tolerance. So this is going to be 12. plus 18. Whoops. So 30, 38, 40, 48, 51, 61. And then this is going to cost 15, so that's going to put us at 76. So that's not too bad. What are these citrate enhancements? Resistance to fall damage. I think I'd like to make one of these as well. So let's actually make one of those really quick. We need mana infused screws, which of course we don't have any of those. Let's mana steel. Okay, let's make some steel ingot. Why is our steel ingot so low? I thought I had that on auto request here. Maybe I only have steel plates. No steel ingot. Oh, it's on bulk 50. Okay, it's probably we don't have a low enough steel count. Just making this the OG way. My magnet stole the second ingot out of there before it finished. There we go. Thank you, magnet, for not stealing that one. Make some bolts real quick. Go lave the bolts real quick into screws. Alright, and now we can make a citrate enhancement. What are we going to use these for? Space chamber corner block. I have no idea if we're going to want those one day. Let's just store though. And then these screws, are we going to want those? Probably won't need these either. Alright, there's our citrate enhancement. That's another 5, so we should be around 80 tolerance. Sorry, excuse me. Alright, let's go ahead and do all of our enhancements, and then the last thing I want to do is the... Wait, where's our refraction? I didn't get something out here. Missing the refraction calibrator. Okay, the rest... Wired reflexes. Faster attack speed. That sounds like something annoying. So I'm not going to worry about that. Alright. Let us put everything in. So basically we're going to go in here and be like, yo, let's replace our skin with solar skin. Sure. Missing skin. Damage will hurt more. What do you mean missing skin? Do I put it there? Oh, I put it on top of my skin. Gotcha. Yeah, let's not take our skin off. That would be unpleasant. So this is muscle. I don't think any of these things go in muscle. And then this is bone, right? I don't think we can take the bones out, but we can put bone lacing in here. And then put citrate enhancement. Oh, wait. Bone slot? Can I not put both of these? Maybe I can only do one enhancement at a time. I think for now I would prefer health increase. I don't know. Maybe these are mutually exclusive. In that case, we're going to be getting a lot of health increase. Well, we already get a lot of health increase from Astral Sorcery, so maybe I'll take the fall damage resilience. Okay, so there's our upgrades there. Let's go up to our eyes, and we can get the salvaged cyber eyes, and then we can put the HUD lens. Oh, we cannot put the HUD lens. Can we only like do one upgrade at a time? Is that what's happening here? Where's our mana link as well? I forgot to. The mana seer link. Do we need a mana link? Maybe these don't work with maybe that's the issue, is that these upgrades do not actually work with the thing there. Yeah, I think these are actually not compatible with the Cyber eyes. Okay, this is fine though. So let's see. Internal battery goes in lower organs. I don't think we have any upgrades for cranium. We could remove our brain, but I think I need it. I don't know. Just a hunch. All right, we can go up here into our heart, and we can put the cardiovascular coupler in there. And then I think that's it for heart upgrades. Go in lungs, that's where we put the hyperoxygenation boost to run faster. And the stomach is where we can put the internal battery. And then I also forgot to put the cardio mechanical pump in the heart slot, it says. Click to remove. Can we, are these mutually exclusive? Why can't I put this in here? Okay, well, let's go ahead and apply the changes that we have pending here. Here we go. Oh no, surgery. Ow. Why don't they use anesthetics? Alright, well, we have our eyeball now. Hooray. What I'm gonna do with that, I don't know. What does our armor even look like? Or our skin here? I don't know if we can actually see our solar skin. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look any different. I thought there were some cosmetic options there, but no matter. Okay. So our eye, I'm just gonna put it there, to be honest. And then let's go back to our heart to see if we can't install this now. It doesn't let us install it. We must need some different kind of heart, but I'm not sure exactly what it wants us to put there. Um, that's fine though. But we do have the coupler, so the coupler is generating power for us. We can't see how much power we have because I didn't install the HUD lens. And can we install it now? No, okay, so HUD lens is not compatible with what we have over here. That's fine. What else are we gonna want to make? So at cyber, I think I will want the distance enhancer, so let me make one of those. Silicon plate, huh? Do we even have one? Silicon ingot. That's in the EBF, so that's gonna take a second to make. We do have nice juicy nichrome coils down here, though. Those are nice and quick. Yeah, only 16 seconds for that recipe. Pretty nice. Okay. Not too bad at all. So distance enhancer we're making right now. What else do we need for that? Silicon plate, mana infused metal wire. Oh boy, we need more mana infused wire, so I guess I should have made more before. Okay. And I don't think we can actually make silicon plates via automation, so let me just go and flatten that guy manually into a plate. Request the rest of this stuff. And there's our distance enhancer. That'll be nice for just like when I'm looking at stuff in the distance. It'll be easier for me to see it. HUD jack will be for... HUD jack will be useful for seeing stuff here. Uh, Internal power. Actually, I'm not too worried about it. So let's put the distance enhancer in. Also, do I have a regeneration potion? I do have a regeneration potion. Let me drink one of these really quick because the surgeon kind of hurts. And normally we would heal by hurting monsters, but yeah. Alright, this goes in our eyes. I'm a big fan of upgrading the eyes. It just makes everything nice. Okay, So R to open the cyberware menu. Okay, that doesn't work, buddy. This is something else here. Um, Controls, cyberware menu. How about Control R? How do you feel about that? Zoom? Okay, well, I set zoom to control. I'm not sure I am a fan of that, actually. What would be a good hotkey for zooming? How about, I don't know, T? No, T is the chat box. That doesn't work either. Why do they make, like, Minecraft mods is, like, the worst control schemes? Like, no offense, but, like, is very difficult to, get something that works. I don't know. I thought this would be, like, more like how Optifine zoom in is, which is, like, kind of working, but it's, like, it has 3 levels of zoom. I just kind of want it to have, like, 1 level. Maybe we're not going to use this feature. Actually, I'm not really digging it that much. Alright, let's just unbind it. Or maybe let me just take it out of my eyeballs. Hello, sir. I would... Oh, no! Get me out of there. Okay, I would like to not get surgeoned on for no reason. Alright. That should give it back to us. Yep, there it is. Okay. We can also see how our underwater refraction thing works if we can go back to some water really quick. Yeah, this will be a good comparison. If you want, you can go and skip back to the part where I was underwater and then compare it to how clear this is about to look. Be back once I'm over there. All right, here we are, about to be in the ocean. And let's see how the water looks now. Oh, it's like totally transparent. That's amazing. In fact, there's like a little flash here where it's like murky like it usually is. But yeah, great. Okay. Like that. Next time we have to do underwater adventures with oil, it's not going to be so bad. So yeah, the cybernetics. The only other thing we are missing that I really want is the low night vision, so that I don't have to keep making potions, and it'll also be useful for the moon. But for now, let's move on to the next thing on the agenda. So I started making stuff for going into space, and I made most of it, as you can see. Space Prep Extreme, even. It looks like this. This is like all of the stuff I made to go to space. And if we go to the space chapter over here under dimensionality, there's a lot of stuff it's having us make. The hollow projector helps us build multi-blocks. The precision assembler is a multi-block that lets us make certain things that we need for making some of these blocks, like the satellite builder and the guidance computer. We need the precision assembler for those. This is the path to making rocket fuel. We use cryothium with oxygen and hydrogen to make liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, and then mix those to make rocket fuel. So I have a few buckets of that in here. The suit workstation is going to be what we use to add stuff to our suit, if we add anything. I don't know if we're going to. And then this is what we need for the launch pad. This is stuff that we needed to make that. And yeah, so what I'm going to be doing here is, since I made most of this, the thing I did not make is actually this multi-block called the precision assembler. So that's what we're going to be working on. And thank you for the pop-up. I think I'd actually like to make it in a compact machine, because we're going to be like making it and then like not using it ever again. So let's go ahead and get precision assembler. This is the weird ass here it is. This is the weird hollow block machine for this mod. So that's what the precision assembler looks like. It's 3 by 3 by 4. So we're going to need a 4x4x4 multi-block, or what's it called? Um, Compact machine. Okay, can you, like, go away, though? Okay, I don't know how to get this. I'm just gonna break the hologram by hand, sure. Anyways, we are going to need a 4x4x4 compact machine, but I don't think they come in that size. I think they only come in odd sizes. So compact machine. Yes, so we're just going to do a small compact machine for this guy. And we haven't actually done the miniaturization. So where did I put the miniaturizers? Here they are. So this is how this works if you've never seen this. Basically, you have to put these things up. And then you need to put a set of these up around facing a block. And I don't think we have these high enough. I think these need to be up one block higher. Also, I'm not going to do it on top of my roof. I just thought they would show something if I did it up here, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So let's do it here instead. So I'm going to face it this way, and it wants the next one to be over here. So let's put one up there. And then the next two need to be up here. Oops. And up here, I think it was. It disappeared before I could see. There we go. Okay, so now the way this works is that we're going to build what we need in this block, and then we throw in a catalyst, and it makes our compact machine stuff. So we are going to need a small compact machine. So first we need compact machine walls, which is this recipe here. So let's make a few of these, actually. So that's an iron block and redstone. Let's just do like iron block. Let's do like 8 iron blocks and then redstone. And then it's a redstone for the catalyst too, right? Yeah, okay, so get 16 redstone. I'm gonna go over here and speed up the furnace. The compressor should be fast enough, but I will go help that along anyways. I will go help it along faster. Nope, it's done. Okay. All right, there's our iron blocks. There's our redstone. And we are just going to create the structure shown in here. So it's just a redstone on top of a block of iron. And then you throw in your catalyst, and it makes your thing. And then you can actually pre-make your next one. But you can't actually craft it until the previous one finishes. So I'm just going to be doing this for a second. I don't think we can do 2 at a time, right? No, it doesn't like that. It's like, yo, I don't recognize what this is, bro. Alright, so I'm just going to be making a set of these. There's some interesting ways to automate this, but really we're not at the scale where automation is warranted yet. Alright, there we go. We got our compact machine walls. 2 stacks worth. That'll last us for a while. So this one is specifically... it's a 3x3x3 of compact machine walls, and I believe an iron block in the middle. So let's go get another block of iron for the middle of that. The iron is pre-cooked, so it should be done pretty quickly. Organize my inventory a bit while that's cooking up. And then the catalyst is an ender pearl. Hold up. Get a pearl really quick. And then we're also going to want something called tunnels. That's going to help us get items in and out of them really easily. So first things first. The iron block goes in the middle. Alright. And then throw our ender pearl. There we go. There is our compact machine small. at compact. It's kind of annoying to make some tunnels, actually. Let's get some... We do have one tunnel, but we do need more, so let me make some of these really quick. Let me turn all of our whoppers into regular hoppers. Even though, like, the alternate is just, like, using a regular chest, but it's like, we have the, we already have the dang, what's it called? The whoppers, so we might as well save on chests. That's, like, frugal extreme right there. Save on chests? Really? They're just wood, bro. Alright, so this is going to be a slightly more complicated pattern. Pick up our small compact machine, by the way. So it's that, and then we draw a redstone box. And, oh, and then we throw a redstone. And while that is crafting, we can go ahead and set up our next one. You can't actually place the block there in the middle where it's doing, like, this animation is actually taking up a space, so I cannot place anything there. So I gotta wait for it to finish. Then I can actually place the blocker and the hopper. Alright, and then to actually set this guy up, how many recipes are we looking at over here? I made the recipes already. We're looking at 5 recipes. So we can just use a chassis Mark IV, and I'm going to need a satellite pipe as well. And I'm going to need a reminder of how this works with items being pumped in. Alright, we're all done with these. I think I'm going to break these for now, and we can relocate these somewhere else. One thing I didn't show is that if you put this thing higher up, and then you put your you put your field projector further apart, it's actually going to let you make a bigger square, but it has to be taller because your square is going to be higher up in the air if it's bigger. Anyways. Let me make a simple pattern really quick. Cobblestone. Let me just make like cobblestone mix of butter really quick or something. Just to test that this works. So butter is produced. Oh, maybe I should make something that we do not currently have that ton of. Here, amethyst. That would be perfect because we can't auto-craft it and then we don't have a bunch of them. Put that butter away. Alright, so 1 cobblestone makes 1 amethyst. This is just for testing purposes. So I'm going to set up the compact machine here. Oh, and I need a personal shrinking device. Is that in my alchemical bag? It sure is. Okay, so this is going to be the north side of the block. So let's put our chassis pipe on... We can put it on the north side. That's going to be fine. Put our crafting module in there, and then let's go in the machine. So we have our tunnel, and I did not bring a chest. How am I supposed to figure out if this works if I didn't put something for the item to go into? Chest. Okay. Try that again. So we have our tunnel here, and we're going to say the north side, that's where the logistic pipe is located. So we go outside. Whoops. I accidentally cycled it again, and then we weren't configured to north anymore. Okay, so it's configured to north side right now. Does our chassis pipe look like it's connected? Our chassis pipe does not, as far as this is concerned, it does not think there's a connection there. Maybe we need a chest in here? So now our chassis is connected to that chest in there. So if we request a amethyst, it should send that cobblestone into that chest. Nice. And now it's waiting for the amethyst to appear in here. So let me just put the amethyst back. And it's going to finish that craft. Okay, cool. So that's how this works. The reason I wanted to make sure I knew how it works is because we're going to need to basically pump the materials into here. And I think we can have multiple sources, right? So, oh no, we can't have multiple sources. So, like, this is east, south, west, up, down, and north, and I cannot cycle these because you can only have one source per side of the block. Okay, makes sense. Okay. So inside here, we're going to want 2 tunnels. We're going to basically want an in tunnel and an out tunnel. Let me go get all of the stuff we need to make the multi-block, and then let's put it together. And uh-oh, we need some coils for the multi-block that I didn't realize we need. Was that in the... Oh, it gave us gold coils. Where's the coils? Did I use the coils for something? Uh-oh. Yeah, I think I used the coils for something. And I cannot make better coils, so I guess we're going back to gold coils. Is aluminum coil better than gold coil? I have no idea. Hold on one second. Okay, aluminum coils are actually slightly faster than gold coils anyway, so let's just go ahead and make some aluminum coils. So this is part of the multi-block structure. We need magnetic steel ring. So I'm going to take a steel ingot. I'm going to magnetize the steel ingot in our polarizer. And then I'm going to make magnetic rings with that and hope they don't get stuck together in their extruder. Am I right? Okay, they're fine. It was a joke. I don't think we can make fine aluminum wire either, so let's just make that really quick as well. Or can we? Hold up. No, we can't. Okay. That was just some leftover from a different craft. Alright, wire mill 3. Alright, got our aluminum coils now. And later on we can make iridium and titanium coils if we wanted to, but I don't know if we're going to really be worried about upgrading this machine. And then we also need... Oh, here's our gold coils. Gosh dang it. Oh well, I don't need them now. We are going to need a battery plug. We're going to need 2 input hatches. We're going to need an output hatch. We're going to need the assembler. We're going to need 2 motors. Our inventory is getting very full. And then we're going to need a bunch of machine structures and then 2 glass blocks. And I think that's everything we need. So let's go in here. Whoops. Let's go and put the machine together now. So let's do precision assembler. So basically, the inside is going to be these coils. How do I? Okay, there we go. If you use the mouse wheel, you can cycle through what's what there. So here's our coils. The motors need to go on the back, like so. And I made 2 advanced motors for the quest, and then it gave us an elite motor. So we're using the elite motor. The bottom is going to be all of the hatches, inputs and outputs and stuff. So let's do our power. Yeah, let's do our power plug back here. And then let's do the output hatch here on this side. The controller is here, and then the input hatches I'm going to do here and here. I'm going to have a chest here to receive the items from outside. And then this is going to be nothing. So we're just going to put machine frames there, and then we can go up to the next layer. This is hollow in the middle, machine frames all the way around, and then 2 glass blocks in the side. And go up to the last layer. Okay. And once we put the last block and right-click the controller, it should form the multi-block. All right, cool. Ish. I mean, I don't really like looking in it. That's why I wanted to put it in here. So we're gonna have a tunnel in there for our input, and then our output. We're actually. Oh, for our output, we can just have it connected to the bottom of this. Though I guess it's gonna matter where we have our where we actually connect this, because I'm not gonna be able to like break that once I have it built. No matter. Okay. So our chest is gonna go here. I'm gonna use probably translocators here to get the items into the chest. And the reason we have 2 input hatches is because some of these require 6 items, and there's only 4 slots in each hatch, so like we need to be able to put all of the items in here at once. And hopefully, I'm just gonna hope there's no conflicts, because I'm not gonna set up blocking mode just for this thing. I was about to slash home. We could just teleport out of here, no problem. All right, now we need to decide where we're actually gonna have this machine. And reset this crafting module I made, the amethyst one. We don't actually need that one. Let me get some junk out of my inventory. I'll put this with the other cyberware stuff. Alright. So it would have a good be a good place to have this. It's just gonna kind of sit and have items pushed in and out of it. And then I'm also going to need a power source. I forgot that part. Probably a... I don't know how much power it uses. Oh, kind of a lot, actually. It looks like it uses an HV amp of power. It uses 2048 RF, which is an HV tick of power. Yeah, this is RF, and it's all the same recipe cost. So let's do a combustion generator. Oh, wait. We can just craft one of these. I forgot about that. So give that a second to cook up. And let's clean up our list over here while we're doing that. Get our recipes ready to go. And for the generator, we're not going to need that much fuel for it. So let me just get like... And like I said, we're not going to be using it a whole lot, I can't imagine. So I'm just like going to get 8 buckets of nitro diesel, and I'm going to hope that's enough. It probably will be. And then let's figure out where we actually want this thing. How about like over here in some inconspicuous corner of our factory? Sure, why not? Okay, so let's have our compact machine there. Let's have our result pipe here. This is on the east side of the block. Above the compact machine, I'm going to put a satellite. And I'm going to call this satellite AR Precision Assembly. And then I need a basic pipe over here. Basic. Oh, I was about to break this pipe that the basic pipe was about to have to come through. Alright, break that. Replace it. This is where our recipes are going to go. I made these recipes before, but I'll show you what they are once I get this open. Basically, I went through all of the recipes, and I'm like, we're going to need these, we're not going to need those. So we have data storage unit. Data storage units. The lens, which we're going to need for the orbital miner. Basic circuit plate, which we need for tracking circuits, and we need for advanced circuit plates. We don't need advanced circuit plates. Sorry, I lied. Tracking circuit, which we need for something that we needed. We need for the asteroid chip? No, not that. What was the thing we needed that for? The orbital laser drill is one thing we're going to need it for. And the guidance computer. Yeah, we need it for those two things. And then control circuit boards. Not that we specifically need this recipe, because you can actually make it outside, but it's like the same ingredients, just 3 times more output. So I'm like, okay, let's just put it in there. Might as well. And that one recipe is the reason we have to have 2 input. We have to have 2 inputs over there because one of them is going to potentially get clogged, or, well, one of them can't hold all the items needed to craft the thing because it's 6 different items and it only has 4 slots. All right. The chest is already in there, so we don't need to configure that. We need our combustion generator. Okay, the output hatch. I think we are all set to go back in there and finalize the setup. In we go. So the east slot is where we have our input, and then the north, no, sorry, the top is going to be our input. Hold on a second here. I just realized we have a slight problem, because this is where the output's going to be, and then the input actually needs to be here in the satellite slots. And these don't actually have enough room to put that many satellites, so I'm going to have to actually do something odd here. So let's get some upgrades here. I'm going to have to use a module upgrade on this, and then we're going to have to use some satellite upgrades on these module slots. So let me just make a few satellite upgrades. That is satellite, this one. Just making sure there weren't multiple. And the reason we need this is because we actually need to send the inputs to the satellite. And then we need to get the outputs out of the output side. And the chassis needs to be on the output side. So we're going to put an advanced satellite here, and that's going to make this look crazy. And then basically we need to... Oh, wait, I can unset. I can set these over here because of the advanced satellite. Okay, so that's just set now. All 4 of those slots are set to go there. Here, I'm just going to... It'll be easier if I just set this once, and then steel rod, and then glass. Maybe that wasn't actually easier than just using the advanced one, but there we go. This is now set up to... It's really hard to see on camera here. AR... I mean, it's really hard for me to see with my eyeballs even, but that's set up to go in there now. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to use these in all of them, so I can just set the advanced satellite on these slots. Okay. Once again, set these. And then here we need to set all 6 of these. Okay, that should be all set to go. Then the rest of these we don't need, so let's just turn them back into regular modules. All right, let's go inside and finish configuring our dealy-do in here. Ah! Okay, let's set our entry point over here in the corner. All right, item translocators go over here. Our output is going to be on the east side, right? East, okay. Allegedly. I mean, it's not showing us the chassis pipe, but it should be there. And then here on this slot, this is going to be our input. That's going to be on the upside. Okay, and then we put our output hatch here, put our turbo generator there. I assume this is going to work, right? I just broke that over here just so I can start pumping energy into here. That does not seem to be working. Hold up. Is it because this multi-block isn't formed, or... Can't really see the thing there. Here, let me... Oh, I can't pick up the... I'm gonna actually do game mode 3 here just so I can look in the corner here. Is not getting power. Okay. We probably need a cable. It probably cannot accept input like this directly from the combustion generator. So let's go and not slash home, just use the thing. Let's just get a output hatch, and this is hooked up to chest up here. Chest, okay, perfect. Let's get a signalum cable. And this should work as far as converting the power goes. Yeah, that's connecting good. That's what we like to see. Where's my wire cutter on my tool belt, right? Yep, it sure is. And then wrench. Wrench down, put the fuel in. Now we're getting power in there, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so this should be enough power to, like, keep this going more or less indefinitely. So let's give it a test now. We can turn it on here. Does that have a constant draw of power? It does not. Okay, that's nice. So we have speed times 3.9.37 and power times 1.0. That's based on the type of motors and coils we have installed. So now if we go over here and we go and request, we are going to need a control circuit board. We need 2 of them for this rocket assembly machine. So let's just request those. So it's making the other stuff on the other places. We can actually run down there and see it in action if we're fast enough. So it has all the stuff it needs. Buddy, you okay? Do those need to be together? Did I do the recipe wrong? What's wrong here? Why are you sad? Well, the items are gone, so it did the recipe correctly. My only thought on why that didn't work is because the annealed copper wires weren't together. So let me just see if I can... Oh, I can't drag a copy in there. Well, that's... Let me make one really quick. Anneal copper wire. That should just take a second to cook up. It just needs to send the wire over there, make the item pretty quick, and then it's gonna whip back over here before I know it. Yep, there it is. I see it on its way back. I will take one of those. Thank you. I'm just going to set... actually, I can't really set it like this, can I? I would need to filter both sides. I'm just gonna hope that doesn't happen again. How about that? And if it is, I'll guess I'm just gonna have to go in there and unjam it. All right. So let's finish making the things we needed to make over here. What else did we need for this? User interface. How do you make that? Computer monitor and keyboard and program circuit 2. Do I have any monitors? Oh, we do not have any monitors. Okay. I made a bunch of them, but apparently not enough. So let's make a handful of these really quick. Glass pane? Doesn't make like 8 of them, I guess. Aluminum foil. Fine copper. And then they're called microprocessors now, so 8 microprocessors. Only one of them have to craft up. The rest we already have. There it goes, actually. Oh, we're almost out of soldering alloy. We should cook some more up. Soldering alloy. I would like to make more soldering alloy as well. Soldering alloy from our mixer here. And that's a 10 alloy, right? So let's make 100 of it. And then I don't remember what program circuit it needs. That's probably something I should check. 3. Okay, so it's on the correct thing already. Alright, soldering alloy dust. Let's just stick that in here. Set the extractor to go into there. And go soldering alloy dust. Alright, so that is topped off to be able to operate for a while now. And then for our computer monitor, this just goes in an assembler. And then I have a forming press over here with a keyboard in it already because I had to make these before already. Just throw our computer monitor in there. Get our user interface. Bank the rest of those. Alright. Please don't have user interfaces in here. Okay, good. I was like, don't tell me I already made it and then I put it in the other chest. So here is our rocket assembly machine. Why did that not trigger a quest? Did I make something we didn't need to make just now? Oh no, we didn't need to make this. The quest is here on that. Okay. So I was like confused why I did not trigger the quest. Okay, so we made this. Now we need the guidance computer. We need gravel. Steel foil. What the? What is making... Oh, that's what needs gravel and steel foil. Gotcha, okay. Let me just make some steel foils really quick. Gravel we can grab out of our one table. Funny, needing gravel of all things. Alright, there's our steel foils. And now we should be able to request this. Okay, there it goes. These memory modules, by the way, are kind of annoying to make. Here, where's the recipe tree? I guess we already had them. Yeah, I made them earlier, I think. But it was like so many items. It was like, hey, to make this, you need these chips, and that's that chip, and this is this chip, and then that's that chip, and all these need transistors, which is that. And it's just like, oh my goodness. And then it also needs all this, and I'm like, brother, calm down. Alright, tracking circuit is being made in the precision assembler, and we're getting them, so it must be working in there, right? Alright, there it goes. All done. Guidance computer done. Alright, that gave us some ender elevators. Oh, these are cool. These lets you do this. They let you do offset elevator. So we might use that in our space platform. We will see. Put them there and try not to forget I have them. Alright, and then the satellite builder is the last thing we need here. We're going to just be using this advanced motor that I made before because I do not need it for anything else, I don't think. CO2 scrubber can be any motor. Oxygen vent. That can also be any motor. So all of this stuff can be any motor. It does not specifically matter what we use here. Bionic leg can also be any motor. That doesn't matter. Okay. Let's go ahead and request everything that's needed here. I did pre-craft a lot of this stuff, so shouldn't be off crafting too many things. The data storage chip is probably what it's needing to make here. Mostly. Okay, it's making some memory for the data storage chip as well. Alright, that should be in the precision assembler now, and it's done. Nice. Don't you just love when things work? And there's our satellite builder. So all of this stuff, I'm going to have to kind of look at it to see what we're actually looking at there. But we now have this quest done. I'll take a spaceship. Sure. We have our suit ready to go. We're going to need to fill it up with oxygen, but I'll do that next time, I think. We are ready to build our rocket next. So that's going to be the rocket assembler machine, along with the seat in the rocket, the engines, and then the fuel propellant. So there we go. We are ready to go. Miniature rocket. Remember, do not light fireworks indoor, kids. And then we also get a theater box. Sure, I don't need this. Can you just... I don't really need it in my storage either, because our storage is getting full enough, so I'm just going to toss it. Korean dinner is good, though. Let's just eat a Korean dinner right now. I love Korean dinner. Okay. Alright. We have one warning before we go up. When you reach space, you will unlock a new mob staging that has certain mobs that ignore light level. It is highly recommended you have a peace candle or Lucerna ritual. Yes, sir. Oh, no, I didn't mean to claim 5 levels while I wasn't holding all of my EXP. Oh, well. And we also got a Severance reagent, which is used to make the so-called peace candle, but we're not going to need that. Sigil of Ender Severance. I don't know if I'll be making that. Into storage you go. Into storage this other stuff goes. Space race. Now that you made it to space. I haven't made it to space yet. What are you talking about? You unlock the final tiering of mob staging, work towards an orbital miner to obtain Skystone, as well as a warp drive to explore other worlds. All of the ores to the right of this quest are possible blocks from the orbital miner. So, we're going to be making the orbital miner, but before we can make the orbital miner, we are going to need titanium for that, which is the next tier of metal. That's like the next tier's equivalent of aluminum and stainless steel and steel, etc. But noteworthy things will be these crystal blocks are kind of noteworthy. I guess we could say dense emerald and diamond might be noteworthy. Probably not that much, to be honest. Glowstone's a little noteworthy. Living rock and living wood are nice. Cobblestone's trash. Obsidian it's okay for EMC. And then Skystone. That's gonna be kind of our big winner there. So next time, yeah, space maybe. I mean, we finished prepping for space, I guess. Next time. Since last time. Whoops. How did you get on both since last time? I didn't hit enter, I guess. This time. Spice. That's gonna be for next time, though. If you are enjoying the series, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Is there anything else I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention, and now I don't remember what that was. Anyway, so next time we're going to be setting up our spacesuit and setting up our space platform. So yeah, see you then. Just like looking through my quest book really quick. 1 second. Okay, I looked through my quest and I'm like, I can't remember anything else. I did notice I forgot to complete the gas charge uh, pad there, which gives us another oxygen tank. So now we have a high pressure and a super high pressure tank. But honestly, I'm not remembering what else we were supposed to be doing here. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Honestly, next time I think we go to space. So yeah, see you then. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.